Ozonics Killerwinds podcast back again. The nuke. The Cole. That sounded weird. Hey, episode 123. 123 episodes.
Yep.
Wow, we are stacking them up.
Stacking them up, man.
How long has it been? We've been doing this thing for what? It's been 2 years now, right? At
Two
least
and a half years, probably.
2.5 years.
Consistent.
Looking at your ugly face.
Consistent 2.5 years.
There you go. Okay, we're gonna jump right in. I'm pretty fired up about this podcast. I have a feeling that this one's gonna be electric.
Yeah, I think this is just the perfect recipe to get some guys fired up.
Yep. Today we are talking about 2025 Iowa Whitetail Rut Forecast, Midwest Edition.
Midwest edition, yep.
Midwest Edition meaning, let's say,
Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa.
let's just say Oklahoma North.
Yep.
Let's say Mid-Missouri North.
Okay, I like it.
Draw a big line.
Yep.
Okay? All right. So, again, disclaimer, this is not a rut predictor. We're not making any predictions. Maybe we'll make some predictions, but don't hang your hat on that.
We
are not professionals.
We're looking at paper.
No. In all seriousness, everybody thinks about the rut differently. Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember being a young kid and getting Bowhunter magazine. I remember getting North American Whitetail. I remember going to the library and looking at those magazines before I had subscriptions, right, as a kid. And I would just be waiting for that issue that had the rut report.
Yeah.
Or rut forecast, rut predictor. Some little thing that I could maybe inkling that I could get. As a young kid, I didn't know anything from anything. So then everything I read, I was like, oh, wow, okay. And you start to kind of, you could kind of piece it together.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's pretty unbelievable how far rut predictors and rut forecast and all this stuff has come now. It's pretty incredible, right?
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, I like to use the Red Moon app, Deercast app, the weather app.
Yeah, all of it.
There's lots of stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, right? So for me now, fast forward a long time, where the rut forecast and looking at the rut, thinking about it for the upcoming season, for me, where it starts on paper. Mm-hmm. So I have an Excel spreadsheet here that makes me look like a crazy person, but I will explain.
Yeah.
But before this piece of paper, what I would do is I would have, and Nick knows this, I like calendars.
Yeah.
Don't I?
Yep.
How many calendars do we have in the office? I have a calendar in my office. Hold on. I have a calendar above my whiteboard in my office. I have two calendars on my desk. Don't ask me why I have last year's calendar on there, but sometimes I need to look back and I'm like, oh, when did that happen? So I have 2024 and 2025 on my desk.
Yeah.
We have another whiteboard in the main area of the office that's got this month and next month. Plus we have a bulletin board that has the entire year. Mm-hmm. I like calendars.
Yep.
And then I got the calendar itch, rubbed off on you a little bit. Then you had calendars for a while. That's kind of slacked.
Yeah, because now I do it all on my phone.
And then I also use Apple Calendar, whatever they call that, iCalendar.
Yeah, something like that.
I use the calendar app as well.
Yeah.
So if you haven't figured out, I'm a planner. I like having a plan. I'm a man with a plan.
I have one calendar on my desk, really, really small, where I can just look at dates. And then I'm looking at it right now, I have the Prescott high school football schedule and the West Hancock football schedule up on the wall.
There you go.
So that's all I got for calendars.
Hey, it's important. So what I used to do is I would put on the 2-month I have a 4-month this month and 3 more months ahead in my office. What I used to do years ago is I would go through when the fall would get close and I would go and I would first look at the moon phases and I would mark down all the new and full moons. Okay. New, full, new, full, new, full, new, full. Then I would start looking at the red moons and I would mark on the calendar when the red moons were. And then I could see August or September, October, November, December, those 4 months, and I could start to really see what it was looking like. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now what I've gone to is, and it worked out good because Nick and I were just trying to work out a schedule for us as well with just different things that we've got going on and responsibilities and content that we're trying to do. I've done this a lot when we do consumer shows. I'll create just a Excel spreadsheet with a date starting and then just rip it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
For whatever time period that we're looking at. And so here you can see I've got the weeks of the year on the left, and then I've got the moon phase, then I have the red moon, then I have the dates, and then I just start to fill it in with other stuff that we're looking at. None of that other stuff really makes a difference for this conversation. But it's interesting because when you start to look at that in chronological order, Labor Day, pretty good time to start, right?
Yeah.
Labor Day's a good time to start. If you were hunting maybe Kentucky, Tennessee, North Dakota, maybe you start a little earlier. And we've actually looked back farther than that. We'll get to that later in this conversation. But Labor Day is a good time to start. You're looking at 4 months of where does the moon, where does the red moon, where do things fall out? And you start to, it's kind of nice to see it on paper.
Yeah.
Then not only that, then you can start to go, okay, what do I have going on?
Yeah.
Well, what do we have going on? We got a trip to New Mexico right around the corner.
Yep.
Right? We're going to be filming, and your buddy Ben's going to be there. We're going to be, Ben and I will be filming Scott and Buddy. You're going to be field producing and doing a bunch of stuff while we're there as well. So we've got a big chunk of time in September that we're gone. You've got a trip to Ohio in late October.
Yep.
Okay, well then we can start to look and go, well, geez, we only got about 2.5 weeks between, New Mexico and Ohio. It feels like a lot longer, but all of a sudden you look at it and you go, dang, we leave for New Mexico in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so you start to fill in the schedule and you go, well, geez, after you go back from Ohio, we only have we only got 3 weeks and it's Thanksgiving. And you start to, because I think sometimes what happens is and I hear this all the time from buddies, and I'm the same way. This happened to me last fall, I felt like. All of a sudden the rut kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you look down and you're like, dang, dude, it's October 15th. When did it become October 15th?
Yeah, for sure.
And you've lost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or all of a sudden it's November 15th and you're like, okay, I missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to do something like this so you can kind of start to put it on paper. What do you have going on? I'm coaching Jets' 3rd grade flag football team. Well, guess what? He has games every Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock through end of September. He's got practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:45 to 7:15. Well, that means that my Tuesday, Thursday nights are out and my Sunday nights are out, right?
Yeah.
If I was going to try to go out and get some work done, get some deer work done, or if I was just going to try to go out and do some depth hunting, or youth season starts to roll in the end of September, well, I got to fit all that in.
Yeah.
You've got stuff going on. I've got stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's just nice to be able to try to lay it out.
For sure.
Okay. So that's my little 2 cents on that. Just however it works for you. Again, before Excel spreadsheets, and if you're like, I don't know how to do an Excel spreadsheet, calendars are great. Just get 4 months of a calendar or get a calendar that's got the entire year on it.
Right.
Just start marking it up. You know what I mean? It's easy. Get a red marker. Okay, mark all the red moons. Just literally, I used to just draw a circle, and it was either a circle or a filled-in circle.
Yeah.
A circle was a new moon. A filled-in circle was, or the opposite, right? Let me say it again. It's easy if you're using a calendar just to mark the moon. Make a circle. That's all the way filled in. That's a new moon. If it's just a circle not filled in, that's a full moon. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so with that said, when I started looking at this, some really interesting things right off the bat. So let's just go in chronological order. We are going to be in New Mexico September 17th through the 25th. Okay. There is a new moon on September 21st.
Yep.
If you've ever done any elk hunting, if you spent any time out there in the mountains when it comes to elk hunting, what I've always experienced, and long time ago, old timers always told me is, man, you want to try to be out there on a new moon. Why is that? Well, a new moon, it's there's no moon, right?
Yeah.
There's no moon up in the sky. It's not shining bright. When it's a full moon, it looks like a light out there.
Right.
And what I've experienced is when you get full moons kind of in that second half of September, it's like, crap. Because second half of September, really the whole month of September is when it's really going to crank up as it kind of gets into the, I feel like my experience is this kind of the, anytime in September can be really good. But man, you get in like the teens of September, you better be ready to rock.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a full moon, it's like, gosh, they're just going to do everything at night because there's so much light. Well, if it's a new moon, there's not as much light.
Yeah.
So they have a tendency you can have more of a chance at dusk and at dawn.
Right.
Whereas on a full moon, by dusk, they've been partying all night long.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so I'll tell you what, when I saw that new moon on September 21, if you're out west elk hunting, you better be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know a lot of outfitters saw that full moon in that part of September and were like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. I don't know if, I'm sure Scott and Buddy have already seen that. And if they haven't, that'll be like the first thing I talk to them about when we get there is, yeah, dude, we got a new moon on the 21st. Should be, you're
Really
kind of stacking more cards in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. It's not guaranteeing anything, but
No, it doesn't mean that they're not going to rut and they're not going to do what they do at night as well. But it just, my experience is when you have a full moon, it's going to get a little tougher. When you got a new moon, you got a little bit more stack in your favor.
Exactly.
So that's going to be really interesting. But from there, I'll tell you what, everybody has their thing, whatever it might be, barometric pressure, red moon, moon phase, just, temperature swings. Does that make sense? Whatever it might be. There's lots of stuff that guys that live and die by. I kind of dabble in a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And one thing that I feel like I do like is the red moon. You know what I mean? And what that represents and how that works and where it lays out. I'll tell you what, this fall looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
From a red moon perspective.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole. Okay. Three red moons that are just laying out pretty gosh darn good. Let's talk about right at the beginning of the season. Red moon from October 9th to the 13th. Okay, so you're getting out there early and bucks are, everything starts to switch just a little bit. Like you said, it's that October lull, but it's nice to have a red moon right there. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And then maybe they start scraping, rubbing a little bit. You know what I mean? Get a buck on their feet. The next red moon is dynamite. We're talking October 24th through the 29th.
Awesome.
So, yeah, you talk about the second half, the last third of October, getting to be right around Halloween, and there's a red moon.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Exactly.
Okay. Then the next one, November 7th through the 11th. Enough said.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, 7th through the 11th. Here, there was a lot of years that, when I worked in Colorado, guys always like, oh, you live in Iowa. If you could only hunt one day of the year, which day would you hunt? I was always like, November 7th.
Yeah.
I don't know why. November 7th just always feels like just a magical time.
Yeah, for sure.
Now they can be locked down or they can be
Depending
on
how
fire.
it's out,
Yeah. But yeah. So then you've got that red moon the 7th through the 11th. And then to cap it off, we've got a red moon from the 22nd through Thanksgiving.
Yep. It's awesome.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden when they get kind of in that everybody's danced, but there's still those few bucks that are out there like, okay, now let's put some miles on.
Yeah.
Now let's do some cruising. Well, guess what? A red moon lines up right on that too.
Yep.
So it's just pretty wild. I feel like from a red moon perspective, the rut is laying out. The red moons are laying out to the rut. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You got one in early October. You got one just right on the verge of Halloween. You've got one starting on the 7th, and then you've got one starting on the 22nd of November. Come on.
Perfect.
Now, again, we've talked a lot about on this podcast, November in the teens, is when the toads will really start kind of zombie walking around.
Yeah.
So it's not hitting on that. But the other big thing to talk about is not only looking at the moon phase, but looking at the moon. Not only looking at the red moon, but let's look at the moon phase. We've got a new moon, or excuse me, we have a full moon on November 5th.
Yep.
So the disco ball will be high in the sky.
Yeah.
November 5th. So, yeah, man, it's looking pretty dang good. Yes. When I saw this and I laid this out, I would yell to you, I'm like, come in here, Nick, get in here now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, look at this.
Yeah.
You talk about early October, end of October, November 7th, and then November 22nd, red moon starting. It's laying out pretty good.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sure. No, it's, Nope, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it could be really,
like
really
you said,
interesting.
it just puts more cards in your favor. I think one thing to remember, though, I mean, I still think that it's still based on does throughout November.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's nothing in November in the tees for a red moon, but I still think that's the best time to be out, red moon or not.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, we're just, and that's what, that's
like we said, it's just on paper.
Yeah, and that's my disclaimer. Like, I'm not saying, like I said, this is just one piece of the puzzle. If this is something that, you look at and you like, hey, the red moon is laying out pretty fancy. You know what I mean? Like it's tap dancing right at the right spots.
It's gonna be good.
You're 100% right. Like it is about the does and where and when are they going to be on their feet and where are they at in this whole process?
Yeah,
does that make sense?
For sure. For sure.
So like you said, but
no, it's going to be exciting. I'm so excited.
Can you imagine if there was a hard cold snap? Let's say,
yeah,
I don't know. Let's just say it hit on like October 25th.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. October cold front.
You better watch out.
First red moon on that first October cold snap could be really dynamite.
It could be really dynamite.
Yeah.
You could have cold weather plus red moon plus just everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
Crops
are coming off.
Crops coming out. Things getting moved around.
Yeah, it's gonna be
here
really
we go.
Legit. I think my favorite part, which I should have said this earlier, but I think my favorite part about all this is I feel like growing up I never really followed anything like this, but it was just kind of like that buddy system. Just talking with your buddies, that was my favorite time of year.
Oh, yeah.
I had one chase, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just such a fun time of year, and like I said, all this is lining up really good early. So
well, and it's interesting too, because I think one thing that I feel like every year, and there's pros and cons of social media in lots of different ways. I mean, we're sitting here doing this podcast, selling up on social media.
Yeah.
So I'm like not trying to look a gift horse in the mouth, but in the same regard, sometimes I just have to get off of it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I will say that I've noticed over the last few years is sometimes I think for me during the rut, I kind of feel alone. We all are out there and you're like, man, I'm like, what's it like? Am I the only one that's like not seeing anything? Am I the only one that acts like that these bucks won't respond to anything? I can't get a buck on his feet. I'm like, what's going on? And then you get on, but the interesting thing is you get on your phone and then you look at other things guys are posting. Guys driving down the highway, heading back home, and he's saying the exact same things that I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, that makes you feel a little better.
Yeah, that makes you feel a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm not crazy.
It's so funny too, because like I remember what you said that earlier on about how you're like it's October 15th already, like the rut is right around the corner. It's so funny because that's how it was last year, but the year before, I felt like we saw the rut play out so perfectly. We experienced every single stage of it. And it felt like last year it never even really
felt like it never happened.
So it's funny too, because like some years it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's here, but like nothing's happening. And some years it's like, okay, we're in the thick of it. We need to be out there right now. It's just cool how year to year it changes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the 2 years that we've been together, it's been completely different.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, again, we said at the beginning, this isn't a rut predictor.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I'm surprised that somebody hasn't figured out a way to do some sort of like, they have NCAA brackets where they, they pick the winner. Statistically, if you tried to do an NCAA bracket off of a rut predictor on what day it was going to be, nobody knows.
No. God, no. It can
Nobody
happen
knows.
any day, yeah.
Like, last time I checked, we're 100% human and 0% whitetail. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, come on.
For sure.
You know, like there's just, but again, there's no way to 100% know, but can you use some of this type of stuff to maybe, you know, weigh in your favor? Is there a lot of truth in if we can get a cold snap in October? Is there a lot of truth in if we can just get cold weather in November?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Is there a lot of truth in the red moon? Is there a lot of truth in what the barometric pressure is doing?
When crops come off.
When crops are coming off, like just, well, and again, pressure from other hunters that may be hunting on the property that you're hunting on, or neighbors, and how they're interacting with the piece that they're hunting on. Does that make sense? So there's a lot to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it is interesting. And that's the thing with some of this stuff, you kind of just hold your breath because like you said, last year it just felt like it never got going. The year before felt like it laid out exactly how you would think. Yeah. And that's what's going to be interesting for us too, is because the spot that we're hunting, the bottom 2 years ago was like, that was the center of the record.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
Every time you went down in there, it felt like spring turkey hunting.
Literally.
Like you walk into a spot when you spring turkey hunt and you get down there and you're like, this is where it's going to happen. Like they're out there somewhere and they're going to come down and they're going to be strutting out in this field. Like this is going to be where they're going to be. And that's what it feels like when it's a corn year in that bottom.
I know.
It feels like this is where they're going to be. You like go down in there and you sneak down in there and you're like, and they might not be out. They're already out in the field when you sneak in past them.
Dude.
And they're just like, they're here.
It was like every single hunt, there was deer from the second the sun came up over the tree line till the second we left.
They were there.
Like deer. It was so fun.
Remember that day we went out? Well, the day we had World Traveler on the river, that's kind of a, regret that we had World Travelers down on the river and we had him there, pinned down a doe, and he would come out, she would come out, he would come out. She would go back in, he would go back in.
Yeah.
And they were just doing their deal.
Yep.
And I kept saying, we just need to get out of the stand. We need to sneak down that fence line. We should just walk down that edge and just see if we can get in his bubble, grunt at him, wait till he comes back out, wait till he goes back in, move up a little bit more. We should do something. And we decided not to. And then we finally get down. We get all of our stuff. Because, like when you're hunting and we're trying to film stuff, it's a lot of gear.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
It's just like, okay, I've got a 60-pound backpack.
Yeah.
And so you got all this stuff and you're trying to rally it all and like your hands are cold and you're wet and whatever
make it
else.
Organized.
Yeah, and like, okay, we got to go. And we finally get done and we stand there and all of a sudden we look and here comes this doe running like,
mock Jesus.
Like, I'm going that way. Get out of my way. I don't care that you're a human. I'm going that way. So she comes by full tilt, like just covering real estate. Like there's this little dredge ditch creek there. If I remember right, she like ran over to the creek, jumps the creek. I was just like, oh, and then we're like, it's like all like, what's happening right now? We look up and here comes this buck. And, and he's doing the same thing.
Oh
just
my gosh.
Watch out. Here I come. Did not care. It was like, okay, like move behind the tree, let him run by.
I remember like just like happy feel like, okay.
It was like it was like dodgeball. Nick's like dip, dodge, duck, dip, dodge.
I think eventually I just hit the dirt. But I just remember, I mean, it wasn't a big buck by any means at all, but I mean, a nice little 8-pointer if I remember correctly, but he's just running right at me. I'm like, he's going to run us over.
Well, the best part was when Nick looked at me and you were like, what? And I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, we need to go. We need to go.
Yeah,
we
need to get going.
I'm like, because in the back of my mind thinking, if we stay any longer, we're gonna go down there, and this could be an all-day deal, and we're gonna shoot. We're gonna get a shot at that other deer. Like we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh, but that's
so funny.
But yeah, I think that's for the both of us. That's what's kind of like the little itch in the back of the head that you're like,
for sure.
that you just keep thinking about is like, how's it gonna lay out? And when I saw, like you said,
it's all
it looks really good
upwards.
It looks really good.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know, it feels, well, when this podcast is being recorded, starting to cool down a bit.
Big time.
Big time. And even I was driving, or I was, Labor Day weekend's a nice weekend. Everybody gets a long weekend. I was driving down the road on Labor Day weekend, and I remember looking over and I was like, look at that. You can it's like a snap of a finger, and the trees go from that like bright green to just like a dull green. Mm-hmm. You can just see just a little bit of yellow on the edge. Like, I was just like, oh snap. Labor Day feels like a little early for that.
It feels early to me.
It feels early
compared to last year.
Yeah, but that's the weirdest thing. It feels early, but we have had rain. We haven't had a lot of rain. Sorry. We've had more rain than we had last year.
For sure.
So it's not as dry.
I know, it's weird. It just doesn't.
But then it looks like it's dry, and I don't know. And I mean, in northern Iowa, what I remember about the spring, we talked about this, not on the pod, but just talking about it, felt like there was kind of like two phases of farmers that got out.
Yeah.
There were guys that got out really early.
Yep.
They got out right away. And you could see everybody kind of frantic, like, oh, should we do it? And some guys were like, yep, we're going. Well, there was like three guys. There was a guy that goes no matter what. He's the first one out, last one out. We know who that is, right? There's the guy that got out right away and was kind of gambled. And then there was the other guy that was like, I'm just going to wait.
Yeah. I
can't afford to get stuff stuck. I can't afford to whatever. Or this guy was like, I'm going to plant it and then it's just going to sit there, because it's like you got to get ground temp. You know what I mean? So if you put the seed in the ground, it could just rot.
Yeah.
So the first guy was out no matter what. The second guy gambled, and the third guy waited. The gambled guy, those fields are turning. Mm-hmm. And the first and second guy, those guys are like, I mean, we were driving the other day to dirt track, and what was the guys doing? He had equipment out in the yard.
Yeah.
Right? What was he doing? He was greasing stuff up. He was oiling stuff up. He's like, hey, guy, we need to get ready.
As soon as it's ready, they're going.
Yeah. So be interesting.
I know. It's going to be interesting, too, at that place that we hunt down at the bottom there, see when they pull it off, because we were actually just kind of digging through some footage yesterday, and we got a really good hunt on November 4th, and there was still corn up yet.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see where all that kind of lays out, too. So,
yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hope he gets it off before then.
You'd think he would.
Yeah.
Because I remember that year, that was like the last field in the county that was taken off.
Yeah. So well, and again, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we'll see. It'll be really, really interesting.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to throw a rapid fire question at you.
Okay.
Based on what we're talking about with kind of how the moon phase is laying out, how red moons are laying out, or just your own experiences, if you had to pick a day, one day in October, one day in November, you go have 2 days the entire season.
Can I look at it?
Yep. You can only pick 2 days. When would you go?
I would say my favorite day to hunt of all time is October 23rd. And that's one day before a red moon. So maybe I'll switch to the 24th. But I like that time of year, that kind of late-ish October, right before the rut hits. I feel like, and this is solely my experience, like where we're at in Wisconsin, that we don't hold a ton of does. And we always had really good luck kind of like October 23rd through the 30th, just because it seemed like there was a ton of bucks on their feet just cruising. Like they just kind of zombie walking already, just looking for does. You could call at them really easily.
Yep.
So I really like that kind of 10-day span between like October 20th and October 30th. So I'm just going to stick to my guts and say October 23rd. And then I'm going to say for the November one, I'm going to stick to November 11th, because I think that is a little bit further. I think they could be locked down early on, like that November 7th, November 8th, November 9th. I like that November 11th stage of the month, just because, or that November in the teenish kind of area, because I think they get back onto that kind of chasing.
Yep.
So I like that. I would say those two. So final guess, what is October 23rd and November 11th?
Wow. Okay, so what I'm going to say for that one is, and again, mine is a little bit based on the way I hope the fall lines out for us and the deer that we're chasing. If it was, so I'm going to give two answers.
Okay.
My October date, I was going to say, October 28th.
Okay.
Part of it is logistically too, because you're going to come off a weekend of the 24, 25, 26. You got Monday, let it settle back down. And then you got Tuesday, October 28th. That just so happens to be during a red moon too.
Yep.
But I just like that October 28th. I like that type, like you're talking about. Halloween's always a tough day for me because I've got 5 kids. So Halloween's usually an off the limits day.
Yeah.
That's a morning if I get lucky.
Yeah.
So, October 30th first would be awesome too. But I really like the 28th. I think that could be a really great day. And just the way it lays out with, pressure that the areas might get or bucks that maybe get moved around over the weekend. I don't know. I just think October 28th kind of sticks out to me.
Yep.
And then, this is where I have to give two answers. So my one answer is based around the hope that World Traveler's still alive. We've had encounters with him in early November.
Yep. November 2nd.
November 4th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Sunday, November 2nd.
Beauty.
Because that's my first answer. But then my real answer, if it's not based around World Traveler, man, it's so hard because I do like the November 7th. I like that. But what you also do experience that time of year is deer getting locked down.
You can see them locked down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely the tail end of it, but
well, no, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like, I think, the first full week of November till you get to November in the teens can be really, really super hit or miss in my experience. You can go out and have a magical day, or you can go out and you see nothing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? What I notice when November hits is all of a sudden all these does that you saw in October, they just cease to exist. You're like, they were all walking around and now they're gone. Well, why is that, right?
Yeah.
Because they get chased in that end of October and then they get tired of it and they know if they walk through the woods, a buck's going to bother them. So then they kind of go into hiding.
Yeah.
And then what do the bucks do? Then the bucks go out and then they find them, right? And then they start bumping them around and then they finally just say, okay, I'm not going to run anymore. And then they just lock down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily that they bed down, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just lock down.
Yep.
So I feel like the whole first week of November is just such a tricky time.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm gonna pick November 14th.
Got it.
Because I feel like then you maybe get a little bit farther away from that lockdown potentially. They still could be locked down in there. It all really depends on where that lockdown really hits. Does that make sense? But again, that November 14th doesn't hit on a red moon at all. So but again, can you put a lot of stock in that? Can you not put a lot of stock in that? It's still being out in the woods. November 14th, also you hope that you're going to have some colder days.
Yeah.
You're probably getting closer to the post right November in the teens. I really swear by and again, I want to try to shoot a mature deer. It feels like there's going to be more mature deer on their feet then.
Yeah.
You're going to maybe earlier in November, you're going to see more deer, but you're going to see the wrong ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, if it's based around World Traveler, what did I say? November 2nd? Yeah.
November 2nd. Yeah.
And if it's just based on just not World Traveler, I'm going to say November 14th.
I like it.
So I don't know. But see, the problem is about November 14th is you're really putting a lot of eggs in that you've already let a lot of the rep go by. You know what I mean? If you only had to pick a couple days to go, if your work schedule didn't allow you and you just had to pick, okay, this one I'm going to take time off, that's risky business. Because guess what? November 14th, you've only got another week and you're at Thanksgiving. So, but again, that's why it's a hypothetical.
You'll be tagged and bagged by then. Putting it on record.
Oh, well, the other thing I wanted to mention about this is one thing that I think is really interesting to have this conversation, and the other kind of extension or the next step of this, and it's something that I think I'm going to do a lot more of than I've done in the past, is it's it's all about the details, right? It's like the little details that you tend to forget on a day-to-day. Like when I was in Alaska this year, I had a little notebook that I carried, and I wrote down everything. I wrote down everything. Every time we saw a sheep, when he stood up, when he sat down, where they were, what they were doing, where they went, everything. I mean, I had it in my pocket, pen and pad in my pocket. I just wrote it down. Well, on a day-to-day, you tend to forget. Hey, what day did I see that buck? Oh, well, was it Tuesday or Wednesday or, you know, you don't really realize it, but those small little details you tend to forget.
Yeah.
So if you write it down, and I was going back and reading that on a day-to-day, and it was interesting to go, well, geez, look at they're really coming down right over here, right? And so that's the type of thing I think I'm going to try to do a better job of this fall, is to try to really be more diligent about the details, because I think those are the things that make the big difference.
Yeah. That's kind of one positive about filming a lot.
Yes.
Too. You can just go back and
Yes.
see where they came from, see how they acted.
Yep.
Date, time.
Exactly.
Because the only thing you don't get is, the pressure and exact temperature and stuff. You can see what the weather's doing, but not the specifics really. So.
But yeah, no, I just, like I said, I used to, and it's been a long time since I did this, I used to journal. Every time I would go hunting, I would journal. I would just take a couple minutes and I would jot down what happened that day.
Yep.
And it was really interesting to look back at that over the course of the season, or look back at it the next year, the year after that, to see kind of the way it laid out. I would write down the date. I would write down the temperature, morning or an afternoon. Like I could really start to see how that would lay out.
For sure.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the year for sure.
Yeah.
Just want it to be here.
Yep.
Want it to be here.
So the other thing we want to talk about, again, I feel like we're spending a lot of time talking about the red moon. And again, sometimes I think the devil's advocate to the red moon thing is sometimes could it be the placebo effect, right?
Could
like,
be.
Are you kind of like going, oh, well, it was on the red moon. You know what I mean? And it's kind of interesting because like what we're going to describe right now is kind of,
it's wild.
It's just wild. Like, is it that, or is there something to it? I would lean to there's something to it.
Probably.
Because he's not on camera any other time.
Like, got not at all.
Got cameras out, plenty of cameras out.
Yeah.
And he's not walking by. So we have a buck that he's just new character unlocked.
Yeah, he's just a new buck running around.
Yep. He is, we talk about the pyramid. He's not the bottom of the pyramid.
No.
He's probably closer to the top of the pyramid.
I'd say so. He's for sure mature.
Well, and he fits
looks like a bull.
He fits my bill.
Yeah.
Right? What am I looking for? I want a mature deer.
He's mature for sure.
He's got that. He's got that written all over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it in his brisket. You can just see it in his head.
He looks like a 5-year-old to me, maybe.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm bad at judging age, but he's just got a huge body.
Yeah, he's got a big body.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got him on camera in July for the first time. When was that?
July 20th.
July 20th, which is the last day of a red moon.
Yep.
Then he went under the radar
MIA.
again. So then he came back in August on when?
August 15th.
August 15th is the second day of a red moon. And then we just got him on camera again here recently.
September 1st.
September 1st, which is...
Daylight is crap, too.
Yeah, daylight as all get out.
Yeah.
Full velvet. September 1st, which is a red moon. So when we're talking about, like, looking at the details...
it's the type of stuff you got to take note of. Well, I don't care if you think it's...
You think it's crazy
or not, but it's something that you need to take note of.
Yeah. And maybe that's like the obscure fact that you just kind of like, that really makes the cool soundbite. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you watch sports and like, did you know that this guy did this for the first time? Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if we get him on camera again between the 11th and the 15th, which is the next red moon, or the 25th through the 30th of September.
Hopefully the 25th or the 30th will shoot him with jet.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's been 3 red moons in a row. He's been on camera. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Just a brute of a deer.
Yeah, And that's what I was going to say too is I know we talk a lot about trail cameras because we like trail cameras because we think they're fun. But trail cameras are definitely picking up a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a lot
definitely starting to, more bucks just like coming out of the woodwork, cruising around a little bit, checking things out a little bit.
Yep.
They're out there.
Yep. A lot cruising around. There's a bunch of deer that I would for sure shoot. I'd say there's one that Cole would for sure, no doubt, shoot.
That's the one we just got on camera, or the
Yeah.
big, or the yeah.
Yeah.
That one and that
Big
big
eight.
Yeah, that big 8.
Forgot about the big 8.
Yeah.
He's a tank, dude. Gosh.
Yeah.
Come on.
And Gas is still out there, hopefully, and World Traveler's still out there, hopefully.
It's going to be interesting to see what shows up once this corn comes off, once they start shedding velvet. Had a really nice young 10-pointer. We talked about him last podcast. He shed velvet. Looks really good. I mean, I would not shoot that deer. I'm going to put it on record. I would not shoot that deer. Would it be tempting? Yes, but I would not shoot that deer.
We've got a lot of deer that we're getting on camera now that we're like, God, you need one more, maybe 2 more. Potential.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer with a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And that's why we kind of talk about, like, this could be a really fun year, because I think that just the amount of kind of bucks that are showing up and showing face, I think that it could be a really fun rut, just because I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of deer just running around cruising, and
yeah,
it's going to be good.
Yep. No, I think it's going to be really good too. And like you said, yeah, I don't know. I know it's weird. It's like we're on a podcast, we need to talk, but it kind of gets me a little speechless.
Me too. It's just like, it's just crazy. Like what's coming up is something that I know me for sure, maybe not so much you, just because with
other things, but the time of year that we're knocking on the door of is just the stuff that I think about every single day. And it's just weird that it's already here again. Like, it feels like just yesterday, Zip and Benny were on the road back to Wisconsin at the end of the Iowa muzzleloader season. Yeah.
Late muzzleloader season. It's like, it's just crazy that it's already here.
Yeah.
And I'm just chomping at the bit right now. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I don't live and die to hunt whitetails. That's like that's not my number one thing.
Yep.
But with that said, I mean, you've seen this happen to me, and I can't change the fact that when you see a whitetail in the woods, it can be a doe. It can be a button buck. I mean, you know me. I don't care. Brown, if I have a legal tag that I can put around the leg of that deer, when it comes to, if it's a spike or a doe, antlerless deer, doesn't matter, or if it's a monster. From the monster to the little buck, that's the only spot that doesn't rev me up. But everything else, when I know I can pick up my bow and like in my brain tells my body, you're going to get a shot at that deer. Dude, that part right there, that's why I like to whitetail hunt.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That's the part. Like, when I know, I'm like, I pick the bow up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a shot at this deer. Like, this deer's going to walk in right here. Here we go. And my brain says, you're going to get a shot at that. And it's like adrenaline dump.
Yeah, for sure.
When that happens, man, I love it. There's something about that. And they're like, sometimes whitetails will walk in and it just seems like so simple. Like, bump, bang, walks by, falls over. Sometimes it's not that simple.
Yeah, no.
They are skitty critters. Like, everything is trying to kill them. You know what I mean? Like, and they all end up dying at the hands of something. Does that make sense? So, like, they live a tough life.
For sure.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, just something about that when you know you got your bow in your hand and you're like, this is going to happen. And just like that connection in that moment, and like everything you got going on, it all kind of slows down.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then other things kind of speed up. And it's just like, when that happens, something about that is just
no doubt
really, really fun.
No doubt.
And like, we both have, and a lot of guys have seen a lot of whitetails.
Yeah.
And you would think that after the course of time, like, that part would kind of like
fade,
or like it would just kind of like wear off a little bit. Dude, I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
It has not worn off.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you remember, well, the first year we hunted together. What was that buck on that piece of public that you were calling him? Not something Johnson.
Scrape Johnson?
Was it Scrape Johnson?
No.
It was something,
number 9.
Number 9, yeah. Like, even that, like I didn't know you very well at that point. You know what I mean? And like, it was kind of rocky at first between you and I, right? Not like because I didn't like you.
No, but
like,
it takes a long time to figure out how you hunt as a person and together with a camera. Like,
and a big adjustment, right?
Yeah, it's a huge adjustment.
Because like, I've been a videographer, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I mean, I was a videographer. So I've done that part of it. You know what I mean? And then but like, when you and I are hunting together, a lot of times I'm not the videographer, I'm the hunter.
Yeah.
But I had gotten away from that videographer hunter stuff for so long that I just kind of had my way of doing it.
Yeah.
And not that it's right or wrong, but the way you did it was a bit different. But like, and also I knew it, but I didn't know it. Hadn't really thought about it that much until all of a sudden it came up. I know I set tree stands high. And I know I set tree stands in like kind of aggressive ways, not in unsafe ways, because oh, come on. There's only one that's unsafe. The corner is a little unsafe. All the rest of them are fine. Hey, they all have lifelines on them.
I was just laughing because I was thinking in my mind, yeah, it's super safe for you.
Oh, okay. So the co-op's a little high. The corner's a little high.
Yeah. Well, the co-op's not high. It's high, but it's very not high off the north side, but off the south side, it's very high.
Terrible. No, but what I mean is like, and frankly, like I'd never been around somebody that had diabetes. Not that bothered me or like, I don't feel like I was being disrespectful, but that came with its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's learning for you too.
Yeah.
You know?
And so like we're kind of feeling each other out. You know what I mean? And there were times that like I could tell right away, like I was really annoyed by like trying to film, and I'm like, I just want to go hunting. Like this is taking too long to set up. It's taking too long to do all this. We're creating more of everything. Like I would have already just shot the deer. Like I don't want to wait. Like what, it's funny because I felt like I could see it from the hunter's perspective as a videographer at one time, being like, because as a videographer, I'm like, why is he getting like frustrated? Like, what is the problem? Like, this is what we signed up for. But that isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
But the whole point of that, to give context, is when we were at that public spot at number 9, and it's like, hey, bring your bow. Like if it's not a deer that I'll shoot, like you shoot it. You know what I mean? I'm like, and that was a situation where we could kind of make it work. And
it was a cluster.
It was a cluster.
It
yeah,
I remember that. That was a time that I could feel that you were just so annoyed with me because it was hard to hang in that because you can't cut limbs. And so we had to really.
You're just, and I'm a public land, you're always trying to finagle. I'm like, you're like, if I could only just cut this one branch, we'd be golden. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
And so you're like trying to do what you have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And so like this number 9 buck walks out, and it was a nice deer, but I'm like, oh, it could use another year. But you're like, I would roast him. So I'm like, okay, so let's switch. So we had to switch spots. We were tied in, but we had to switch spots, right?
I think I just took the camera off the camera mount and handed it to you.
Oh, yeah. And then I leaned back, and then you just could shoot kind of past me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my point of all this is that all that context is to say, I remember seeing you come unglued. And I remember thinking in that moment, like, I was like, I kind of like this guy. Because you hadn't gotten that excited. I was getting excited, but there was times I was like, guys, is he like this? Like, because man, he's just like, kind of like, he's not like freaking out. You know what I mean? Like I was, you know what I mean? And as a videographer, I would kind of not lose it where I couldn't run the camera, but I would get excited too.
Yeah.
And then it was just funny when your brain told your body, you may shoot that deer.
Yeah.
The same thing that happens to me happened to you.
Well,
and it was funny because you came unglued. That was when the hot mess just really took hold.
Well, that was the first day we got a picture out there. I'm like, I want to shoot that deer really bad. Really, really bad. And of course, that's the one deer we see. And And you're exactly right. When I'm filming, I get into a different mindset. Like, I really get into a zone with the camera, and it really helps me. Like, there's sometimes I get pretty revved up when I'm filming, but, like, I know that I can't really show that. I need to be on my game. But like you said, as soon as I had the bow in my hand, it just was like, okay, here we go. And it just happened really fast. And then but it was cool, man. Gosh, I think about that hunt a lot just because it was just cool to see him in person and just a beautiful, beautiful deer,
right there.
Man. God,
right there.
60 yards.
Yeah. And then, this is kind of off subject, not really rut forecast. We're kind of going off on a little bit of a riff sesh here.
I like it.
But, that was part of what, for me, like as a videographer, when I stopped being a videographer, I remember talking to a good buddy of mine. He's like, Cole, I don't think this videography thing you should keep doing that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, really? Why not? Because not like I was like winning Grammy Awards. That's for music.
Yeah.
Oscars. Is there Oscars for hunting? No, I'm just kidding. No. But it's not like I was winning awards and I wasn't like this amazing videographer. But what he made a comment as he's like, man, dude, like, he's like, your fire, I can tell it's not burning near as hot as it did before. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly how I got. Mm-hmm. I got and I can tell I still get that way, where I get very businesslike.
Yeah.
I kind of disconnect myself from it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it gets very, I don't know, like in the heat of the moment, what I love the most about hunting, I kind of like take that away.
Yeah.
I really enjoy some of that comes back when you get to watch the footage back.
For sure.
And then you have it forever. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
And that's meant a lot to me now.
Yeah.
Even with what we do. And that's what I enjoy the most about us hunting together now is to be able to like yesterday, we're just like looking back on some stuff and it's like, man, look at that. Having the extra GoPro angle and like seeing kind of our banter and like, like what we're wearing and the way the day was. And, oh, look at the fog coming up. And there's like things like that those little details we're talking about earlier that you just forget.
They get lost
easily. Yeah, they just get kind of lost. And so there's like a fine line there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was kind of what, for me, being a videographer, what I got a little worn out of is I was like, man, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I am kind of my fire isn't burning as hot as the day before. Mm-hmm. And then when I started hunting again, that really, really, it came back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's where I think that that's where maybe you and I are wired a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. Like, cause like, there's a lot of things that like, I think that, and again, you're type 1 diabetic. So there's times that I just be like, well, let's just push on. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, dude, I can't do that. You know what I mean? But then there's times with the videography stuff where I'm like, you're like, let's just push on. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, so I think you're really good at what you do and it's fun to be able to film it. But yeah, that's for me, like that's what I love about whitetail hunting is when, you're going to pick up your bow and you pick it up and you're like, this is going to happen. Mm. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You would think that a doe, you would like kind of get over that. Yeah. Not me. Not me. Yeah. I'm just like, not me. Like, and I don't know. That's not me. I get revved up. It does not matter. I get revved up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I want to try to, like, we've talked a lot about like that moment of truth and figuring out how to kind of harness that. It's not that I don't do that, you know what I mean? But that moment still just happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hits me and I'm like, and I kind of don't ever want that to go away.
Yeah, I think that the only portion of that whole situation that you kind of need to harness because the deer deserves it is just like when you're about to pull the trigger. When you're about to let that arrow fly, that's where you need to be able to harness it because you don't want to make a bad shot out. No. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I felt that last year too with those two does. I hadn't come unglued like that in a really long time, but it didn't happen until after I shot them. But that was the first deer I'd shot in probably 5 years, first two deer, and that like really felt like everything kind of came full circle for me. Like it just. I just was shaking so bad. I was revved up. I called you after the first one, had to hang up because another deer was coming, shot that one. It was just like,
Well, it's funny because we got deer on camera, you know what I mean? And like we got World Traveler on camera. And so I just made an executive decision like, you're going hunting now. And you're like, now? Like, now? I'm like, yeah, like 5 minutes ago, get ready, you're going. You're like, oh, okay. You know, so take you out there. And then you call me like an hour and a half later, whap the first one. And then you call me like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, Nick, you shot the mature doe. There's a couple yearlings with it. They're going to run off. They're going to come right back. You need to hang up the phone. You need to lock it up. And you're like, yeah, you're probably right. Okay, I'll let you go. And then 10 minutes later, I just saw a second one.
oh, it was cool.
But yeah, you're right. Like, and I think that we could do a whole nother podcast about that moment of truth, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's, you hit the nail on the head, is like, it's great to have that adrenaline and to get excited, but you have to figure out how to hone that and harness that.
Yeah.
And when you actually get in that position, when you got the bow drawn back and you're settling down in on it, you just have to really make sure that you're making the choice to shoot. Mm-hmm. Like you're deciding, not the situation, not the excitement, like almost like, I just gotta let it go. Not that. Yeah. You want to make the choice, like draw back, settle in. Okay, I'm in control. I'm choosing to let this arrow go.
Yeah.
I know what's happening. I'm in control. I'm deciding.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's the trick.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hard to do.
Really hard to do.
You know, with everything going on and then all of a sudden they don't take the step that they're supposed to. They're right behind a tree, you know, to try to think rationally and think, you know, it's objectively, it's hard.
Yeah. Well, and
that's what makes it so fun.
Exactly. And that's like my cousin Benny, they just got a really sweet new food plot set up. And I told him right away, I said, dude, you should seriously try and shoot a doe out of here like early. He's like, really? I'm like, dude, think about the last 5 years. I'm like, you've shot your bow at 2 animals. I'm like, dude, you got to get your swings in, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a huge part in what we do. I mean, it helps so much just to, you know, knock the dust off, get some shot early. And I think all that plays a big role in being able to hone in when that moment comes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, so yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we've talked a lot about that before, but yeah, no, I think you're right on track. Yeah, no, and it's going to be really good. I'm really interested to see how everything squares out this fall. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you know, it's just like the saying, you don't know what you know till you know it. Yeah. And this all could go to all the fray, but it's just kind of interesting to lay this out. And that's the other thing. I'm really, really excited about New Mexico elk hunting. That's going to be really, really cool to see how that squares out.
Yeah.
Usually, we've talked about this before too. If you said elk bugle or turkey gobble, give me the turkey gobble.
Yep.
But hearing bulls scream, something fun about that too.
Yeah.
And they're big, and it's the Gila, and that's a magical place.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we talk about the magical time being out there during the rut when everything just is coming unglued, and it's just like, what is happening right now? Mm-hmm. That's what it can be like in that part of September in the Gila.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's bulls that just go into haunts that you never know they're there. There they are. And so that can be pretty awesome. I'm really excited to see how that Ohio trips works out.
I know. I mean,
it's going to be a really special thing. Like, not only, you know, the big thing it's going to be special about is that the hunt winner.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool too, because I'm a little jealous that you're going to kind of get to see it come full circle.
Yeah.
There was a lot of planning that went in before we went to the consumer shows. Like, hey, how about we figure out a way to give a hunt away?
Yeah.
You know, and we did, and we meaning everybody at Ozonics, right? Like the planning of doing it at the show and trying to have people sign up, and then other people signing up, and then drawing a winner, and the guy that won, I mean, I think he's excited. Yeah. It's going to be pretty awesome.
For sure.
I mean, you're in a great area. It's a great time of year.
Yeah.
Ohio, I mean, man. It should be really, I mean, again, there's just a lot that should be really, really good about it.
I know. It's going to be It's going to be good. I'm excited. Just kind of see a different part of the country, hunt a different part of the country, and I think it'll be, although I'll be hunting those 5 days, or not hunting, filming, I think it'll still be a pretty decent, it's going to be a fun kind of reset. We're going to hit it hard in Iowa. Okay, now we go to Ohio, come right back, and then hit it hard again in November. I mean, it's going to be, I think, that 10 days, it's a 5-day hunt, but those 10 days during that hunt and then after, it could be really, really serious.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's kind of crazy because right before you go, you'd be like, okay, it's on Lake Donkey Kong.
Yep.
And right after you get back, it's like, okay, it's on Lake Donkey Kong.
Again. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling that something may happen while you're gone.
Probably. That would be pretty par for the course, I feel like.
I'm gonna call you and you're gonna be like, really?
Yeah.
I'm in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But it'll be all right.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah.
No, it'll be good. All right. Well, I say we wrap it up.
Yeah, that was a great episode. That was a really fun conversation, I thought. 2025
rut forecast.
Knocking on the doorstep, boys.
It's right around the corner. And you think about it, we're at week right now when this podcast airs, it will be in week 37 of the year. Thanksgiving is week 48. So we got 11.
So
you got 11 weeks.
There's
11 weeks. We got 11 weeks.
It just sucks. It just sucks. Because you know what? February, really January, February, March, feels like it takes 4 years to get through those months, and then we're going to get to this, and we're going to literally, we're going to blink our eyes, and we're going to be doing a Christmas episode. You know what I mean?
Well,
it just goes like that, man. It goes so fast.
The way I feel about it is September, October, or really October, November. Every year, October, November, I'm like, where did it go? April. Every year, I'm like, you know what? I am going to savor the month of April.
Yeah.
Every day, I'm going to be like, April 5th, beautiful day. I'm like, look around. I'm going to think, I'm in April. And you know what I do? It's April 28th, and I'm like, where'd April go?
Yeah, it's April 5th. Next thing you know, you're at
I look around and I'm like,
you're at Arnold's Park in Lake Okoboji.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's June, and I'm like, where did April go? I didn't even think about April. It just went by. It's just a whole month just gone.
Yeah, exactly.
That is October, November.
Oh my gosh, it goes so fast.
Hey, another podcast in the book. Sorry if you heard this pen the whole time. Use it as a little fidget thing today. Thanks for watching Ozonics Killerwinds podcast. We got the nuke. We got the coal. Thanks for watching.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Stay classy.